I guess Aneesah, for you, just what flipped in the second half for you and for the team, especially in the fourth quarter?
We got off to a slow start, just figuring out how to guard them defensively. Communication, I feel like I told them the first 5 minutes. Actually, the third quarter was the most important part. We had to be sound defensively, come together, communicate, and we did that.
Mikaylah, what was it about Albany's offense that really gave y'all trouble in the first half there?
I think the biggest thing for us was just defending those cuts and staying disciplined for the full 30-second shot clock. But other than that, once we figured it out and started getting rebounds and giving them one chance to score the ball and getting out in transition, it was good from there.
Y'all had a few days of practice, but how hard is it to knock off the rust of a holiday, just come back and play a game knowing that you're going to jump in the SEC right away after this one?
Right. It's always tough to come back after a long break and get back in the groove of things, but this is what we needed, and it was a good start to head into conference play.
Aneesah, I know it seems kind of regular for you to put up a stat line like you did today, but in the fourth quarter, it seemed like you kind of took over the game. What was working for you in the fourth?
I know my individual goals that I have set for myself, but also being able to help my teammates. I want to be the dependable teammate every night, and I felt like in the first half I wasn't. I got in foul trouble. I wasn't really attacking the boards as I should have. So the fourth quarter, I know that being in foul trouble wouldn't be an issue, so I attacked the boards as much as I could.
Mikaylah, for you, it seemed like out of the gate today you had a mentality that I want to attack the glass, whether it's on the offensive end or defensive end. Just talk about being able to be in that mindset from tip and how it sort of helps the team maybe settle down and get into a groove possibly.
At the beginning of the season, me and Coach Mulkey had a meeting, and she was like, "I needed to rebound better. Like we don't have Angel Reese anymore, so I need to help Niece on the rebound. So I guess just going in, and she called me out in practice 2 days ago, saying that me and Flagey needed to get more rebounds to help out Niece. So that's the mindset I came into the game with, and it ended up helping us.
For either of the players, start of the second half, y'all really came out and pushed the ball harder. It seemed like the first half, they basically conceded offensive rebounds, would drop back on the fast break, and just they were already back there waiting for y'all. Did you just feel like we're just going to take it fast break even harder so they can't get back fast enough?
I would say for us, that's a part of our game, transition offense. When we were able to push the ball, able to get open looks, run the floor, that's how we separate the lead. So in the first half, we wasn't able to do that, and that's a part of our style of play.
I guess for both of y'all, just what has Jersey meant to y'all as now that she's in the starting lineup, and just what on both ends of the court?
She's a big body in the inside, of course, for us. Being able to block some shots, she can help a lot on defense. She's a presence there. She's a lot taller, 6'5". I know me, I'm not that tall. But she's just that tall presence that we need in the inside. Being able to rebound, being able to get tip backs, and she did that tonight.
Got time for a couple more questions with these girls.
I think for your question for Jersey, I think the biggest word for her is unselfish. Just her coming into this LSU program and willing to learn and dominate the big spot and transitioning over to a big was very good for her. So I just appreciate her for helping us out in that way.
For both of you, if I may, if you want to look at these first 15 games as a whole, what's gone right, what hasn't gone right, and where do you think you can improve the most going into SEC play?
I would say our chemistry has gotten a lot better. Of course, having a lot of transfers coming in together, trying to learn our style of plays. I would say, of course, defense. We still clicking there and figuring that out as teammates as well. And then I would just say chemistry, of like the first one. Just learning each other, being able to communicate and talk defensively, offensively.
I think what's different from last year to this year is we faced adversity early this year. So I feel like going into conference play and the rest of the season we'll be ready for the adversity that comes with the SEC conference, the SEC tournament, NCAA tournament. So just ready to face adversity early and being able to be prepared for that.
And for both of you, if I may as well, it seems like this is like one of the first games, and maybe the second game through the first 15 that you've had 12 healthy players. Can you talk about how helped and or hindered, the chemistry building process that you talked about, and being able to have Shy back out there today, and just how much of a lift was that for you guys in terms of game flow and things like that?
I would say that's just a very important thing that we talked about, chemistry. If a point guard is hurt or out, we can't really get our chemistry together. So, of course, having everybody together and healthy is what we need, and you can see that it really matters.
We're good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Questions for Coach?
You talked about guarding them similar to guarding Stanford. I'm not sure how many teams in the SEC play like those two, but just how.
Not many.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's a different style.
Does that help y'all even against teams that aren't like 5 outs and anything like that?
I can't answer that. That team is well coached. As I said in my radio interview before the game, they remind me of a smaller Stanford in what they do offensively. They're going to have low-scoring games, whether they win or lose, because they really, really execute, and they keep executing, and they keep executing. Some of the things that we did, believe it or not, do decent on the defensive end is you didn't see many backdoor cuts. I think Morrow gave up one, and maybe we gave up another one, but we didn't allow the backdoor cut, and that's a big part of what they do. First quarter, they shot lights out, I think almost 50-60%. Coming back from the Christmas break, you expect to be rusty, out of sync, and we were, but our field goal percentage got better as the game wore on. Now, is that because they got fatigued? Maybe. They've been on a break too, but I thought we started out, got fatigued and subbed a little bit, and kind of got a second win there offensively in the third and fourth quarter a little bit.
Do the slow starts, maybe some of the early turnover issues, do those concern you at all?
Reed, I can pick out every ball game concerns. That's just who I am. That's what I do. We're 15-0. Let's remember that. Whether we won by a last-second shot or we won by 20 or 30 or 40, we're not going to be the type of team that just blows people out. We've got too many new pieces. We've got roles that have now changed. The longer we play together, the better we will get. The better teams we play, the better we will get, and we will see better teams in the SEC. Concern, we could have started out and jumped on them 40-0, and I'd still have concerns. I don't like it. I don't think any coach wants to get behind, but you kind of test your character a little bit when things don't go to suit you.
Looked like there in the fourth quarter when it was like a 2-point game, you guys had a couple steals and breakaways in a row. Was that just more energy, or you guys finally had your legs under yourselves after?
I thought in the fourth quarter, I can't remember who all was in the game, but I thought defensively we were more disciplined. We didn't jump and run and give up straight line drives, and we didn't cover down and leave people open for a three. We talked better in the fourth quarter. We communicated better. We switched better, and I thought when we did that, it gave us a little bit more energy, and we'd head to the other end and try to create something in the open floor. I think one of the big things I remember is Morrow. And, she didn't get as many touches early because she got in foul trouble. And sure, as an athlete, you're frustrated. But you know what I tell ball players? You don't think you're getting enough touches, then go rebound. And that's what she does. She went and got rebounds. She got some steals, and she made a beautiful pass on a spin move down there in front of our bench. Well, if Flage's not running the floor and doesn't go opposite, Morrow's in trouble right there. And she saw her, and she dumped it off to her. So we got a little energy by something a teammate did, which made me want to do good.
couple of weeks ago, Bob filled in for you postgame. He let it fly a little bit about what he thinks.
Did y'all rather him?
No.
Y'all can have him.
No. I was just he was.
Okay, he does good, and in fact, I can get home if it's not in my contract that I have to come do this. The older I get, What y'all think?
No.
Y'all send Scott a little note and say we prefer Bob.
No, he was basically what he thought the team needed, but where do you like where your team's at with the SEC play heading to Arkansas Thursday?
We have lots that we have to improve on. Our schedule didn't do us any favors. We have to go on the road to play a lot of good teams in the league. And we know what lies ahead, and Arkansas is our focus right now. They have, I think, the leading scorer in the SEC. And so every time you play an SEC team, it's going to be just a dogfight. And if we're fighting and we can win enough of them, we'll be all right. But we've got a lot to clean up. We've got a lot to improve on. And it's going to be a challenging coaching year and a fun coaching year. And, yeah. Does that help you?
You mentioned Morrow just a second ago. She had a double-double alone in the fourth quarter. Have you ever had anybody like her that's undersized, doesn't get the ball, but every game just comes out and produces numbers?
Yeah, I have actually. I've just been blessed, Ron, to coach some of the best in this basketball world, and I've been blessed to coach some of the overachievers that maybe were just given the eye test, and yet they were great players. And the one that comes to mind, and she'll love this, is Nina Davis, who's assistant coach at Middle Tennessee. Nina Davis against UConn one year. I think the kid had like 20 rebounds. Rebounding is not always the tallest, the most physical. Rebounding, you got to have a knack for where that ball's coming off. Sometimes you got to quick jump people. Sometimes you got to get in a position. Sometimes you just got to be gutsy. But I would say Morrow and Nina Davis are the two that come to mind as a head coach. Now, we had some at Louisiana Tech that were outstanding. And that's probably why I don't respect scouts and coaches who give people the eye test. It takes a lot of work to find those kind of players. You can't measure heart. You can't measure will to win. And people just get lazy and they go, oh, man, he looks good at batting practice. He's 6'5", 250, man. Nobody wants to see that. Hell, I can hit one every now and then in my heyday. You got to watch young people, and you got to see what their heart tells you and how hard they play. And she just plays like you want your kid to play. She just plays hard.
Got time for a couple more here.
Yeah, Coach, with the SEC having 8 or 9 teams in the top 25 and just the conference as a whole looking as good as it does it feel any different going into this year, especially with Texas and OU in it?
Well, it's different in that those two universities are in our league now, and they're really, really good, and they're well respected in women's basketball and probably across the board in all sports. So we've just made it a lot tougher, and I think that's a good thing. I think it's good for women's basketball. It's good for the SEC. We'll beat our brains out, and hopefully when you get to the NCAA tournament, you take a deep breath like, whew, this can't be any harder. It's the way you have to approach it because we got some talented teams.
Kim, a minute ago you said it was going to be a challenging coaching year, but a fun coaching year. What makes you say that, I guess, through the first 15 games of the season so far?
Well, I think in some respects, we've kind of created a monster here, and people expect you to blow people out, and it's just not going to happen every year. It's not going to be that you're just going to be up 40 at halftime anymore. And that's because of a lot of things, because of new personnel, but it's also the opponent. So what you try to do is be a realist and go, what is fair for that particular team that particular year? And we just got to get better. We got to be in ball games. You got to win the ones you're supposed to win. Every now and then, upset those you're not supposed to beat, and compete and be in ball games. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Finish with Rudy.
What kind of progress are you looking for on the defensive end? What do you think you'll see to make you satisfied with what they look like, I guess?
I think when you look out there and all 5 players are in a correct, ready position, I think when we're in stance, I think when we're helping each other, it's so difficult this day and age to defend people one-on-one anymore. I mean, people just work on their game, and it's just hard. And I think that it's kind of like if you attached a rope to all 5 players on the defensive end. I pull you because I just got beat here. Oh, Lord, you pulled me over here. Oh, I got to go down here. When you're looking at all 5 of them do something together as a team and helping each other, and I think in basketball, you see it a lot in pro level. You got your man, you got yours, I got mine, let's go, you can't do that. Can't do that. That's just not going to win championships. And I think when we get 5 players in a correct, ready position and everybody's helping everybody and take pride in it, just take pride in it. And if my girl scores, man, I really, it bothers me. And that takes time. That takes time. And a lot of coaches will bail out and start playing zones. Zone's easier to, I can't say it's easier to teach because I'm not a good zone coach. It takes a lot of effort to teach man-to-man because you got to do it every day from start to finish, and you got to demand it, and it's hard, it's work. And sometimes we'll have 3 look really, really good, and then the other 2 aren't on board. And then sometimes we'll have 4 look really good. Sometimes we'll just have all of them guarding their man and they forget about team defense. And it's going to take that on the defensive end for us to beat anybody we're not supposed to beat. It's going to take a great defensive effort because this game, you're not going to shoot it good every night. And so you gotta win with defense, and you gotta win with rebounding. And I thought tonight our rebounding really kept us from having a larger deficit at halftime.
All right, thank you, guys.